Okay, so the animation attached to path tool, very handy, very powerful, has a few issues. Um, all right, I have a curve I've drawn out, and I have a cone that I've built facing the x-axis. And so it's pretty simple. I grab the object first, and I grab the path second, and I'm going to be in the animation menu set, animate menu item, and then we pop down here to motion paths and attach to motion path, and we'll hit the option box. Alrighty, and so here I'm going to set my front axis to X, my up axis to Y, so that means the object's Y is going to be what's up. Time slider, let's see, 24 frames, that's not quite enough. So let's, I don't know, 360, sort of my default number. I don't use the parametric length. I do use the follow. I'm not very big on the using the bank. The inverse up and the inverse front, it's a weird way of phrasing it. It's, I don't know if you'll see it in other parts of Maya. It really goes back to Maya 1. And it's just they don't have a negative z or a negative x. So I would do inverse front to do negative x. Inverse, it's a term from math. It's not really common English. Anyhow, so that's that. And let's give that a go. Hit apply. And we'll close that for a moment and get my playback to 360. And so now we hit play. And voila, it goes, and the cone faces going down the path. All right, pretty straightforward. So now there's some fun stuff to deal with this. Notice that the cone has its translates and rotates locked out, so you can't manually animate them after you attach it to the path. More on that in a few minutes. Okay, if I select the path, over here in my outputs I have motion path 1. This is where I do have controls of those twists if I want to do anything with the twists. So I can key those manually if I happen to need something. I have a U value here, and with that selected, if I go to my graph editor, so animation editors, graph editor, we can see here is my animation curve. And so if I set a key on that, okay, it will change it. Okay, so I can set a key and change the motion and stuff. It goes from 0 to 1 is the parameterization. All right, so if I change this number out here, now I just clicked on it and highlighted it. That, for intro students, for some reason, is a really hard selection. But, okay, so I'm just going to bring up my attribute editor here. Instead of 360, I'll say 300. You see, so you can really, 300. Okay, so that means that from 0 to 1 is now frames 1 to 300. Okay, and so I can also take this guy, this keyframe, and say, you know, how about 208 for your where that keyframe is. Okay, and so now when I play it, it plays it at the different speed. It takes into account that keyframe I put in there and ends up there at 300. All right. Stop. Stop. All right, deleting that out, I'm going to just draw in another curve. Okay. There is a flipping issue, by the way, that is a small nightmare to get rid of. But all right, so but moving on to keeping this sort of intro. All right. All right. So once again, I have my cone, but this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my hierarchy so you can see what I'm doing under the hood. Okay? I will group it to itself, and then I will, oops, sorry. There we go. I've grouped it to itself, and so I will select the group and the curve, and now I will do my animate, let's see, motion paths, and attach to motion path. Okay, same settings as last time. Now the benefit, you're all right, big deal, that's doing what it did last time there for you, Steve. The benefit here is by having the group attached, here at the NURBS cone, I can manually keyframe this guy back and forth. Okay, so I have that ability to fix a problem. So that's pretty much my main way of working when I'm using this attach to path option. All right, so pulling all that out, killing these guys off. Now another handy thing to know about is the flow path. Okay, so I've just grabbed the path and this cube, and let's see, animate and motion paths, and attach, let's see, flow path object, and there we go. Let's see, divisions, front, 5 seems good. Up 25 and 45, 45. Okay. Local effect 2, 2, and 2. I'm thinking up 6 and 6. All right, let's see what we get with this. All right, so I hit apply. Oops. All right. Oh, right. Okay, so I have to get this guy applied first to the, I really haven't used this in a while. So, okay, so I will do an attach to motion path. Okay, so now that's going along. All right. And so then I will try that. And oops. Really? That's the division's front is okay. I think it has a different definition of front than I do. Let's give that a, that's what I was expecting. Okay, so there you see what this guy does. Okay, now you often have to hide either ends of it. Okay, so but it's built a lattice along the path. All right, so this is the lattice around curve. I have a second cube there just to do it the other way, so coming up with that. I'm going to turn off the deformer so you can't see that, just so we can sort of see what's happening. So as it goes through that 360 frames, you see what it does. Now it falls apart at the end, okay, because it's basing everything at the center pivot point, okay? And so if we watch it when it begins, you will see that it does a little bit of a hiccup right as it's entering the lattice, right there. Yeah, so as I said, you have to hide each ends. It happens not to be doing it on this end. If I stop this and move this guy so there's a bit of a turn, oops. A little bit closer in, we will see at the end of it, it also falls apart. See? So you really have to hide the ends of this and build a bit more than you need. Alrighty, so killing that all off, showing the lattice. Let's see, okay, that got deleted too, good. So I'll now toss this guy on, the short one, and let's see. So we have to go to motion paths, attach to motion path, So it's on there. I select the object, say, hey, put the lattice around the object, and there we go. And let's see, did that divide it the way I wanted it? So I think this will still work. Okay, so here the lattice goes around just the object. And so you get a nice dense lattice. So it depends on what you want to do. It does, the first one I showed you around a curve can have issues with the, if you're trying to put a grouped object in. So I've had to build it with a hidden, basic big box around the group of models that I wanted in the selection. But that's the basics of setting up the attach to path and the flow path. I really recommend putting a group, especially when you're doing it with cameras, because you'll often find that as you go into a turn with the camera, you're going to want to hand key it to anticipate the curve a little bit. So, all right, hope that helps. Have fun.